right. So, I think we're live and good, and hopefully everybody can hear us properly. It looks like it's working. It's always the issue. So, as always, I am Rick. I'm the game master for Hammer of the Gods. We're here to play some Together Among the Stars. But before we do that, would you like to introduce yourself? I always point the wrong direction.
Hi, I am Ash. I use any pronouns. I am the social media lead at the Storyteller's Tavern. Yay. I also play Seeker of the Wind. I have my cat ears to prove it.
Makes it official, right? All right, so this is episode 16, or session 16 of Together Among the Stars. And before we get started, I've got some announcements, as always. Our sponsor for tonight is today, it's still morning, Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca, use the code THEVACTER, all one word, for 10% off your order. And Maggie's pick of the week is Unicorn Dream. Apparently it's still not candy. I mean, Ryan, you gotta get on that, but I guess you're not allowed to eat it, or not supposed to. That's what I'm being told. Second announcement, we are currently raising money for the Trevor Project, an organization that helps LGBTQIA2S+ youth and provides 24/7 crisis support services, now available in Mexico as well as the US. And there is a link, I believe it's pinned in the chat, possibly. If not, I'm sure Artemis has put it in the chat. And then third announcement is the merch store at tinyurl.com/vacmerch, where you can get awesome stuff like the Half-Orc Energy, the Vac Blob, all kinds of great stuff. And any Pride merch, which is now available, any money raised will go to the Trevor Project as well. Words are hard. Last announcement, I believe, is the schedule. So Sunday, tomorrow, no Legacy of Fire due to Father's Day. Monday, Mistwalkers with DM Affy at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday is our Binkar Brouhaha, also at 8:30 p.m. Wednesday, Affy and Artemis over on Goodman Games at 9 p.m. For the Wasteland Saga, this week is Tim from Stronghold D&D. Thursday is a Song of Crystal and Shadow with DM Sophia. Friday, no Fixius 5, because of some exciting recording that Affy and Artemis are doing. And I think that's it. I think I read all the things, did all the stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And I will have you make our first roll of the day.
Okay. That is a 3.
All right. So I like to get started with, they have the interplanetary travel. And I think it just kind of makes it a fun way with lower pressure to just be like, hey, how do we start this off? So a 3 is you make up a game to play during a long stretch of empty space. What are the rules like, and who wins?
I Spy in Space would be so hilarious. I see nothingness.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is we've played a lot of like really basic games, but it just makes it fun because you're doing it in space.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree with Kayla. I Spy was a pretty good idea. Because even if it is a mostly empty, like you can still see stuff.
Yeah, that's true. We'll go with I Spy.
Okay.
In space. Since at least 2 other people thought it was a good idea. I just thought it would be funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I Spy doesn't really need a winner.
That's fair. So everybody wins.
Yeah.
Artemis,
We're
you
all
always spy
hopefully
Reggie.
learning something.
Alright, so I will have you roll one more time, actually. And what we're doing now is we're deciding how many cards are going to be for this planet. We don't have to strictly stick to that. If we're like, oh, you know what, I kind of like where this is going, we can just draw more cards when we run out. But
6.
Awesome. So solid start. Yeah, Artemis, Reggie is the entire reason we play this game. Like, 100%. Reggie is our diamond space dinosaur. Which is exactly what it sounds like. Alright, so I'm going to roll for our first discovery. I got a 2, which means it is arduous to get to. We've got the 3 of spades. So, you can pull that back up. So, spades are natural phenomena. The examples it gives are huge crystal formations, mirages, vividly colored lightning, strange clouds, rocks eroded in strange shapes, veins of precious metals, etc. And 3 is by a gentle river. So we're just starting this on a very relaxed, laid-back kind of a thing. So let's see, natural phenomena by a gentle river. I'm gonna say that there are just some like large standing stones that there's no clear pattern to kind of their arrangement, but they're eroded into what looks like heads. Not human heads, just like some other alien species that maybe one or both of us would recognize. But it doesn't look like they've been worked. It looks like maybe they eroded that way naturally. So if you would like, you can now, we can kind of talk about it in character. We can have you roll your examination, and that kind of gives us some prompts to add to this discovery. But really, it's up to you what you want to do.
I think if I roll to examine, then we may have something more to talk about, just in my mind.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise I'll just be like, oh, weird rocks. All right.
Yeah, and
2.
I mean, it always just kind of, you said 2?
Yeah.
So 2 is where you would draw it. If you don't want to draw it, which is totally valid, what we've kind of decided is that's just like an extra description, which there's already, add more detail or tell how it changes, but we just consider this like painting a word picture.
Okay. Right. I think these rocks are odd in some way, but they don't look human or alien made, unless it's just done in a way that I don't recognize.
Sure. Yeah, and that's, I mean, Breckett kind of agrees with that, like, it looks like this was eroded in some way, maybe. Human rocks, Kayla. Oh, man. Maybe they have some other technique that we're not aware of, but it doesn't look like there are any tool marks.
No, and I've definitely seen, more jagged erosion that, or things that weren't even eroded and they're just blown up.
Yeah, it's almost like, the imperfections wouldn't be something that would happen, like, if you were making it by hand, Somebody who was making it would leave those imperfections.
Yeah. But then there are details that do suggest that there has been some sort of sculpting at one point, perhaps.
absolutely.
Mm.
It's interesting. We'll have to do some further exploring and see what else we find. Maybe some evidence as to who did this and how, maybe even why.
Oh.
So, if you would like, now you can do more science. Thanks, Artemis. If you would like, you can roll for our next discovery.
Okay. 3.
3. So we come upon this suddenly. And that is the 4 of Hearts. And hearts are ruins. The examples it gives are mysterious obelisks, vine-covered temples, abandoned dwellings for people bigger than you, a wrecked spaceship, etc. So a lot of variation there. And 4 is in a steep canyon.
Okay. Could we go with the vine-covered temples?
The nice thing is like we can. Those are just like our kind of suggestions. We can do really whatever we want with it. I mean, when Affy and Artemis were on, we went to Underwater Space Hot Topic, which is nowhere in this PDF. So it can get real weird.
Now I kind of want to do an abandoned Blockbuster video.
Ooh.
Or like a Radio Shack or some shit.
It's both. It's both.
The combination Blockbuster Radio Shack.
Yeah, it's a very rare, little-known combination. Great restaurant, though.
Yeah. And you can tell what they are because you know the logos for Radio Shack and Blockbuster.
Yeah, because it's definitely in some like non-human language.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like really weird text. Like like Orabesh from Star Wars, but with like an elvish twist.
Ooh, I like that.
I have no idea what that would even look like, but it would be.
I think I have a pretty good.
Wildly out there
idea. It's kind of like combining Dwarven with Elvish, in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is in a steep canyon. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to roll for that. Ooh, Artemis, I'm sorry, but that's a 1. I need you to draw this weird combination Radio Shack space blockbuster. Oh, I am so excited for that, though. That's going to be amazing, and we're probably going to get sued, but... Because I'm sure somebody still owns those logos. They're not, like, just out in the wild now.
Well, now they're they're attached to a ruined building in a steep canyon on some weird planet.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, since instead of drawing, we like to paint a word picture sometimes. I'm gonna say, so this canyon has like indentations. They're not quite big enough to really call them a cave. It's just like it scoops inwards a little bit, like maybe water eroded things in a weird way. And so like underneath one of these, where it's just got this overhang in the canyon, you see hanging down is the space blockbuster Radio Shack combination. And as we, use our jetpacks and make our way up there, we can see it's got little like hooks or essentially like a dock where you could park your flying vehicle. So this was clearly a very advanced civilization. Technology a little bit above what we've got, maybe. Which is why they've got Blockbuster and Radio Shack.
They are equally defunct as they are in our own world.
Yeah, that checks out. 100%. So,
I had to. It was ruins, and I was just like,
yeah,
let's name two corporations that we've lost.
absolutely. I mean, realistically, Hot Topic is probably not far behind them, so, you know. Any of those mall stores, they're just. Their number is coming.
They are literally living on borrowed time.
Yep.
I don't.
So, yeah, as we make our way up there, Breckett starts like poking around in there and like picks up something that to us doesn't make sense. It just sort of looks like a really like if an egg was long, if that makes sense. Like you just take it and you stretch it out, and it's just this like silvery looking thing that doesn't have any kind of buttons, any kind of like details. It is just this solid silver. But as he picks it up, it just starts playing music. And he just tosses it down. He's like, what the heck was that?
I don't even know what that could possibly be. This place is odd,
That's
to say the least.
absolutely valid. What did you find?
Well, you remember Blockbuster and Radio Shack?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they had a baby and it was this building, and they're gonna gesture towards the combination Blockbuster Radio Shack.
Oh. What in the world? How did that get here?
I have no idea, but... Well, I suppose they're gone on all worlds, or at least ours on this one.
Yeah, and as Breckett's like looking around a little bit, he gets out like his binoculars, you know, and can see off further on the canyon that there's another Radio Shack Blockbuster combination that's just also equally abandoned and hanging there. Do you think maybe it was a poor business plan that caused them to go
Oversaturation?
to Yeah.
Well, you know, maybe. I can't imagine why you would need this many Blockbusters or Radio Shacks, never mind combinations of the two.
You know, like two fueling stations right next to each other, that just makes sense. That's logical.
Yeah.
You know, even if they're the same company, like it just makes sense. But this is just madness. These poor aliens.
Maybe corporate greed is madness.
You got me there. You got me there.
It's giving Krusty Krab 2 energy.
Oh, that's an amazing reference. Thank you.
My brain terrifies me.
I get it. I'm the same way. So let's see. Ooh, we're gonna have another sudden discovery as we move on to our next one. We've got the Jack of Hearts. So we're keeping with the ruins. And Jack is in the desert. So I'm gonna say kind of how this went was, you know, we landed by this gentle river, right? As we followed it along, it kind of drops off into this canyon that we found our weird combination of ruined businesses. And so like as we continue past that, we find ourselves on like the edge of this desert, right? And I'm gonna say what we find just barely sticking out of the sand is what appears to be a Toys R Us sign. But next to it is like a Spencer's and a Hot Topic, and of course a KFC. they really went all out with the combinations on this world.
I'm sorry for dying.
No, you're good. You're good.
I love how mall insane that is.
But like, it's not quite big enough to be a mall. It's just like a weird combination of 4 different things. Because they're all, I don't know about, in Canada, but in the US in the 90s, inside of Walmart, we had like a McDonald's a lot of times. Now it's usually Subway.
Oh yeah, we have that.
Yeah.
We have, there's a couple here that actually also have a Subway now. I avoid those Walmart.
Fair.
But most of them, have a McDonald's.
You guys still have the McDonald's?
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's the only McDonald's in the mall that I work at, which is insane.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so that's kind of like how I'm picturing this, right? Is like it's a Toys R Us. We have to, because it's mostly buried. We can see the sign. We find the top of it and we like climb in through a skylight, right? And so we're looking around, and there's like a KFC kind of in the back corner of the Toys R Us, like you do, and then sort of like how stores will have like this is the food section, this is the like clothes, this is whatever. One of the departments is just like dark, like all the paint suddenly goes black and it's just like Hot Topic. And then there's another one, on the other side of the store that is like rave colors, and that's the Spencer's. Like there's no dividers, it's not separate stores, it's just one great big blob of weirdness. It's KFC.
Yes, Spencer's and Hot Topic, the two genders.
I mean, although they do have what's the other one? Box Lunch now. The same company that owns Hot Topic. So there's 3 genders. So, would you like to roll Miller's examination, and we'll see what kind of weirdness we can get up to, or if we can make Artemis draw this one too.
That's a 4, so Artemis doesn't need to draw this time.
But if you wanted to, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
So you get to add a detail you notice about the feature. So something about this weird mishmash.
All right. I don't know if I'm gonna out myself as a Hot Topic shopper. Okay, but you know how like nowadays like Hot Topics feel very empty when you go inside of them, and then like even a few years back they felt like very full and very crowded.
Oh yeah.
So like the ruins look like an older, more like vintage Hot Topic rather than like a modern empty one that has like nothing in it. And
where like you could not fit more than one person in any particular aisle because everything was just so packed.
It was just it's so that definitely stands out.
Yeah, the whole time.
I'm not used to it.
Yeah, like Breckett's not really claustrophobic, but the whole time he's just like, sorry, like bumping into stuff constantly. There's nobody there, but he just feels the need to tell somebody sorry.
How Canadian.
I don't know if I decided where Breckett's from, but yeah, he's probably from Space Canada. Makes sense.
Space Canada?
Listen, everything is space. All of it. We've also had Space FedEx and I don't know, something else that I'm completely blanking on.
Everything's better in space.
It's true. Even Canada's better in space.
Canada's better in space. but it's very much one of the old, like, very packed Hot Topics. And I'm gonna again call out current Hot Topic. There is no Twilight merch. There is no. It is like the 2010 Hot Topic of your dreams.
Yeah, like it's only hardcore metal bands and emo bands. Like,
yeah,
you can't read most of the fonts unless you know who it is.
Yeah. And I think that is very important to me because it shows just how long this Hot Topic has been in ruins.
Yeah, the ruins of a better time.
Rest in peace, Hot Topic. I miss you.
Yeah, see, exactly. You know, it's just a matter of time at this point. They've done it to themselves. All right, well, if you would like to roll for our next discovery, we got a couple more.
All right. Let us... 4 again. Sudden discoveries for the win.
Yeah, we're just bumping right into everything. All right, so we've got...
Just like an old Hot Topic.
True. So, I'm assuming this will be inside of this Toys R Us, Hot Topic, Spencer's, KFC. But we've got the 4 of diamonds. I know, it just rolls right off the tongue, right? So, diamonds are living beings. The examples it gives are people like or unlike you, fish, dinosaurs, wolves, birds, giant insects, etc. And we've had a lot of things that are not even close to that. And yeah, 4 is in a steep canyon, so maybe this canyon actually went further than we thought it did.
Okay, so what if we came across something that looks like a fish, but it has wings like an eagle?
Ooh.
Because that would be, like, to me, something really interesting, but also kind of terrifying to look at.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
having difficulty picturing it. But, like, I don't have a specific fish in mind, but it looks like a fish, but it has the wings of an eagle.
Okay.
So it's got, like, fish scales and also feathers for the wings.
So I got a 1 for my examination, and what I'm thinking, as I paint this word picture, and as Artemis, you get to the joy of drawing this weirdness. I'm picturing it as like this enormous channel catfish. Like, it's just this huge catfish with these tiny little eagle wings. Like, they should not be able to carry it. Like, it defies physics.
Similar to, like, how a bee should not be able to fly.
Yeah, like that's not physically possible.
Bee movie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say, like, it is just enormous. It is at least 10 feet long.
That's hilarious. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Miller, did you see that?
I see it. I'm not quite sure what to call it. Is it a fish? Is it a bird?
Maybe we just call it like a... I don't know.
A furred.
Yeah,
I had to take a second.
A great name.
The second one would have been bish. So furred was better.
What if it's a furred bish? What if it's just both?
I think that works. How do we try to communicate with it?
I guess we can try. And I'm just gonna radio to Rory, who is Artemis's character, who is also our pilot, and just be like, can you send Reggie, please? And after a few minutes, we get like almost like a Star Trek transporter, this little long neck diamond dinosaur just appears and starts chasing this thing around, but obviously knocking over shelf after shelf. And Breckett picks up one of the t-shirts that was on the floor, and it says Ferdbish. Like it translates, and it's got a picture of this thing, so it's like, oh, I think that's its name. Like, I think that's just what it's called.
Oh. That's actually incredible. Huh. This place is quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, I like this planet.
It's unnerving in the way that, in some ways, it mimics our own, but then it gives us things like this.
I mean, yeah, for a little bit I thought maybe they were just mocking us, but this is some sort of horrific miracle of science. Amazing. So, let's see. Got a couple more cards here. And let's see what I get. Another sudden discovery. We're not moving anywhere. But we get, ooh, okay, the 9 of Hearts. So we're sticking with ruins. Ooh, okay. 9 is deep underground. So we got to move a little bit, right? Because we were only slightly below ground whenever we got into this Toys R Us combination. But after Reggie starts chasing the Ferdbish around and knocking stuff over, we find that there's seemingly like a freight elevator. But of course it's in the worst possible place. It's just in the middle of the store. Underneath some shelves, like the most inconvenient place possible, like you do.
Employees.
Yeah, they've got to move everything every single time they want to move anything. And so as we like descend in this freight elevator, it goes on for quite a while. We're just sort of, we start playing space poker or something, as we're waiting, because it takes that long. And when we eventually stop, we can see that we're in this like large open cave with this just big pool of magma, right? And sitting in the middle of this pool of magma is a Waffle House. Which is the natural location of the Waffle House.
I want to make a joke about the Waffle House index.
Yeah, it's not bad enough. They're still there. They're open.
They're still there. Still open.
Yeah, so that's what I've got. If you want to examine the Waffle House.
A 6.
Ooh, okay. You get to record how the feature changes in some way. So how does this Waffle House change as we're watching it just hang out in this pool of lava?
So when I'm picturing it as like as we're coming down, like the lights in the Waffle House, like like that mid-level that is more like a hey, don't come in, like you don't rob this store because there's somebody, like don't break in because there's somebody here and we'll catch you. It's like that level of lighting.
Yeah, the hey,
but
don't
then
rob
like
us
as
lights.
but as we approach it, the lights go to like their full thing, and we just see like maybe like something appear at the door, and it like opens. And Miller is going to say, oh, well, I suppose the end of this world and all of the irrelevancy of all of these corporations here hasn't affected the Waffle House, so that's a good sign?
Yeah, I mean, we passed a Waffle House on the way here, so that doesn't really surprise me. Remember, it was on that asteroid?
Yeah.
Which, again, natural location for a Waffle House.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nothing will hold Waffle House back. Nothing will cause Waffle House to close. And if it does, well, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, and Breckett just, like, walks inside, and I'm gonna say something that we had encountered in a previous session. We see these, like, they're almost like shadows. Artemis, if you're gonna quote me, get it right. In the middle of this magma is a Waffle House, not space. Magma. It's important.
It's a pool of magma with a Waffle House.
Okay, well, my bad, Artemis. Get it right, Bree. Jeez. Get your shit together. I say having none of my shit together.
It's okay. The job of us right now is to terrify everyone with our brains.
You know, Emily and I did that pretty well accidentally early on. That was horrifying, but I loved every minute of it. Yeah, so as we walk in, it's like these shadows of people, right? Almost like it's an invisible person. You can kind of see their outline a little bit, but you can't quite make out their features. And so, like, we sit down, and this shadow waiter comes over, and we can't really tell what they're saying, but still, you know, we just kind of like point at the menu what we want, and then we get this nice hot meal from Waffle House, and we're just hanging out eating some mediocre food.
Waffle House, please don't sue.
You know, I think if they were going to sue anybody, they would have done it to, like, everyone ever.
Probably.
This is definitely not the worst thing that's ever been said about them.
No.
Oh, man. All right.
It's not even the worst thing I've ever said about them.
Valid. I love Waffle House, but it's garbage. In all the best ways. So we've got one more on this planet, and I believe it is your role for the discovery.
That is a 3.
Okay, another sudden discovery. And this time is the 5 of diamonds. So let's see. Diamonds are living beings.
Cool.
And 5. Ooh, it's in a treetop. The rare underground magma tree. So some sort of living creature in a treetop.
Yeah. Alright. I'm trying to think of a horrific combination of animals again. I will stay away from birds and I will stay away from fish. Alright. Let's... Okay. You know the Kowakian monkey lizards from Star Wars?
Yep.
So, from the head portion of it, looks like that. The rest of it looks like a chipmunk.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like too terrifying, but you definitely be like, oh, that belongs in a tree.
No, that's
which is why it's even more
pretty terrifying, honestly. Might show up in my nightmares at some point. Oh my god.
I'm gonna have nightmares. Oh, for anyone who doesn't know what a Kowakian monkey lizard is, it's like Salacious B. Crumbs, the thing that sits at the end of Jabba the Hutt's worm body and laughs. That's what that is.
It's like...
Just in case.
It's almost like a monkey head, but if it had like a bird beak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's already a terrifying combination of animals.
Exactly. And yeah, seeing this, and it's just like running around inside of the space magma Waffle House. Because, of course, Waffle House has a wild animal running around inside. uh, Breckett just like takes a piece of his waffle and like holds it out, trying to get its attention. And, of course, it kind of, being part chipmunk, is a little bit hesitant, but it makes its way kind of over there slowly, just tiptoeing a little bit, and then it just takes the whole, like, it grabs the piece of waffle that Breckett's got, but it also, it's got like, I'm gonna say it's got a really long tail, but you can't tell it first. It's like, it's got the regular chipmunk tail, but it just extends out, and it grabs the rest of the waffle, and then it runs off.
Well, I don't suppose that went the way you wanted it to.
No, not really. Say what you will
But at
about
the same
Waffle House,
time-
but the food is pretty decent, I guess.
Yeah. Well, now it belongs to that. Okay, so monkey starts with monk, and then chipmunk ends with monk, and I was like, monk? Chipkey? I don't know.
Ooh, I do like Chipkey, though.
I like
that.
Chipkey too. It sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, but let's be honest, so does Monk.
That's true.
Yeah, so I think we need a new plan, and Brackett's just gonna like, he's gonna go over, because it's Waffle House, and the people who are supposed to be cooking are not paying attention. They're doing something else. They're probably outside smoking, and he just goes over there, and like there's a frying pan that isn't being used. It's not like hot or anything, and he just takes it, and it's got a little bit of depth to it. It's not just totally flat, shallow.
Yeah.
And he just like takes it, and it's just big enough that he like puts it in front of the little Chipkey and grabs it, and he gives it a big hug, and he's just like, we're friends now.
I suppose in a odd sort of way it is kind of cute.
And terrifying.
Cuter than that. Yeah, cuter than that other creature we saw. That one was just really weird.
Yeah, I did keep that Furbish shirt though. I'm gonna wear that later.
Yeah.
Because it was weird, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just catch Breckett later. He's got his flight suit, rolled down with the arms tied around his waist, 90s style. But he's got his Furbish t-shirt on. Because, he's from the space 90s.
Yeah. Space 90s.
So, it's a good time. So, yeah, as Breckett's, befriending this little Chipkey, it like climbs up his arm, and then it just settles, because our flight suits have the little like ring around our neck that our helmets would lock into to seal.
Yeah.
And so like that ring is just kind of sitting around my neck, and so like this little thing just comes and it kind of curls its little tail around the back of my neck, and it's just like right there, like a little cradle in front of my face.
Yeah.
You're really creepy, but you're also really soft. So.
And Miller's gonna reach out, and they're gonna pet the Chipkey.
Which is even more funny / awkward, because it's just like right here. We're gonna have to think of a name for you.
Yeah, sometimes the weirdest looking things are actually the most precious, I think.
You know, I think that's what my ex said about me one time. And with that,
Well,
Breckett's just gonna like walk off, you know, leave a nice tip for the waiter.
whatever the waiter is. We don't
You know, we don't ask those questions. It's fine.
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's a robot or it's a
Weird shadow
zombie.
thing. Yeah.
Shadow thing.
So
I mean, they work in a Waffle House. Chances are they're probably like just trying to survive.
yeah, that's fair. Immediately after we walk out, like another shadow walks in and just throws a chair as soon as it gets inside. This is why I don't go to Waffle House.
Well, it's good to know that some things never change, no matter where you are in the universe.
That's yeah, weirdly comforting. I don't know what it is about it. So, I think this is our possibly only time that we've only gone to one planet, but we're at about an hour now, which you know we don't have
Yeah.
a time limit or anything, but an hour is usually about how long we play. So I think that's a pretty good place. We just finished our last of the 6 cards, and we did a lot of exploration. So
Yeah, I
we
found
learned a
some
lot
really
about-
weird.
Yeah, learned a lot about other civilizations and our own at the same time. Well, before we head out, anything that you want to plug?
The Storytellers Tavern has new episodes every Thursday, and you can find us on YouTube and where pods are cast. You just type in Storytellers Tavern, subscribe to us, follow us on social media, etc., etc. We're really chaotic and we're funny, so follow us because it's Pride Month.
And because they're also awesome people, so
Exactly, yeah. Why? If you're not following us already, why aren't you? We're so cool.
exactly.
Indulge my chaos. I need it.
I mean, if you're here watching this, you obviously enjoy chaos, so definitely
Exactly.
do that.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you again at some point. And I'm going to put us over to our outro, but please stick around for the raid. We're going to, I believe, raid Heroes and Hooligans, where our friend Aaron from Even Footing Games is playing some Babies and Broadswords. So, all right. Well, thank you. We'll see you all later.
Bye.